Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Elise, and for today's video I am going to be picking TBR jar prompts to determine my reads for the month of January. I am so excited. I feel like these are my favorite kind of videos to film because it's so fun to see what books I pick out to read every single month. Last year I feel like I was in so many different mini slumps and I just wasn't reading that much every single month. And so like starting the new year, I'm like, oh, I'm in a reading mood. Okay, like I want to read all of the books I didn't get to. So many new releases are coming up this year. Like I am just so excited to read in general, and I feel like mood reading lately, I've just been in the mood to read all kinds of things, so I'm just like having so many more options. These are gonna help me out what books exactly I want to read for this month, because there's a lot of options that I want to read. Sometimes I don't get to my TBRs because I am a mood reader for the most part, but I do have a lot of books on my physical TBR that I really want to get through before I buy any more books. I told myself that I'm not going to buy any other books until I finish all of the physical books that I have, or at least finish a good majority of them. We are going to pick out probably 5 or 6 different prompts, maybe 7, depending on the length of each book. Because if I pick a lot of books that are over 400 pages and they're long reads, and I know I'm most likely not going to get to all of them, I'll end up picking like 5 or 6, but we'll see. Let's pick out our first prompt. I always feel like I pick out the most random, but sometimes they're like the most fun too. Okay, for the first one, we got color wheel picks. So I'm going to spin a color wheel on my phone. Whatever color we land on, I'm going to see if I have a book that is the same color on the cover from my physical TBR. If not, we'll pick out another book that I've just been wanting to read that I don't have yet. Let's see. Okay, we got the color purple, and I only have one book on my physical TBR that's purple. And I'm so excited to read this one, you guys. It's Trust Me Always by Megan Brandy. If you know, you know, I love Say You Swear. That is my like one of my favorite books ever. And then the second one, Promise Me Not, I didn't really enjoy it that much, but when I found out who the 2 characters are going to be for this book, jaw dropped. Like I was shocked. I didn't see it coming because I was like, okay, like I don't know. Like I feel like maybe with their personalities or like their mentions in each book, I was like, they're not gonna end up together. But here we are. So I'm so excited to read this book. I don't really know much about it. I'm pretty sure the 2 characters, and I don't want to say who it is just because this is the 3rd book of a series, and I know a lot of people don't want to know specifically who they are, and because the reveal of the characters are such like, I'm not going to mention who they are, but basically they fake date so that her ex-boyfriend could like leave her alone. And that's pretty much all I know about this book. And Brandy always does some sort of twist, so I'm glad to be adding this to my TBR. I'm also going to put the actual paper I took out because all the time I always forget and I'm always mixing it up, so I'm going to make sure that they're together. Okay, so now I'm going to be picking for the second prompt. It's not a post-it. Okay, let's see. Oh, back-to-back yellows. A book I didn't get to last year. Now, there's a lot of those, you guys. There's a lot of books that I didn't get to last year. So I'm going to check because I have a couple that I didn't get to last year. I'm just going to see which one I really wanted to get to, and I didn't. I mentioned this book a lot in my videos, and I still have not read it. So I'm finally going to read it. It is going to be the first book I read this year. And that is Rewind It Back by Liz Tom 40. I am so excited to read this book. Like, I just know I'm going to love this book. I've been wanting Rio's book for so long. So I'm definitely going to put this one because I've been meaning to get to this book for a long time now. And it's just been sitting on my shelf because I just wanted a really good time to read it, and I feel like going into the new year, I'm like, I should start the year with my favorite series because I know I'm gonna love this book. Liz Tom 40's writing, I love every single time, so that's a good choice for this prompt. And now I'm going to be picking for the third prompt. I'm going really quick with these. I might just pick 7. Okay. An even number of pages. So I'm going to go through these and check. Okay, so the first book I checked has an even number of pages, and it's a book I've been wanting to read, and I actually added this to, I think it was my November TBR, or maybe, yeah, I think it was my November TBR, and I didn't get to read it. I've been thinking about this series a lot. I've been thinking about Magnolia Parks a lot, and I know it's not about Magnolia and BJ in this book, but I still want to like go back into that world and read about these characters. And I did not know this, but when I was going through this book, it has 3 different point of views. So I'm excited about this one. I'm gonna go with this one because it's a book I've been wanting to read, and I know I need to finally finish that series and continue it. So I'm excited to be putting that one on my TBR. Okay, for our 4th prompt, we got second book of a series. Okay, I already see 2 that I really want to read. But I just like, I feel like another prompt could fit for it. I'm going to show you guys the 2 options and then we'll decide from there. It's Twisted Games by Anna Huang. And I didn't really like Twisted Love, but I've been seeing a lot of people tell me you have to read this. Like, you're most likely going to rate it a 5 stars. Like, it's a lot of people 5 stars. And a lot of people have been telling me that they think I'm really going to love this book. So this one I really, really want to pick. But there's also Reckless by Lauren Roberts. And I've been wanting to finish this series. And so I don't know. These are completely different vibes, completely different books. So I'm like, what do I go with? But we still have other prompts. We still have about 2 or 3 more prompts to pick from. So I'm like, this could be, I could still eventually pick one or the other. I think for right now, a book that I want to read a little bit more, that I'm more in the mood for, is probably Reckless. But I don't know, because I've been really wanting to read Twisted Games. Okay, I think we're gonna go with Twisted Games. Just because... Okay, no. We're gonna go with Reckless. We're gonna go with Reckless by Lauren Roberts because I've been thinking about the series a lot. And I need to finish that series if I want to read any other fantasy series, because I want to read one fantasy series at a time so I don't get confused, and it takes me a while to read fantasy books. So I want to read this, and I saw Freza, a book club, love them on Twitch. You should definitely check them out. They are coming out with like a wild library book club on YouTube, and they read this entire series. I started the first one with them, Powerless, and then I just didn't get a chance to read the rest with them, so I definitely want to get to this. I'm excited about this choice. The way I just switched, I was like, actually no. Now we are going to be picking our 5th prompt. Oh, okay, this is a fun one. So I'm gonna pick a book that was gifted to me. And wait, you guys, hold on, because Twisted Games, I got it for Christmas, so it was gifted to me. I did also get Love Unwritten from like a Christmas book swap with one of my besties. But you guys, now I did say if I have too many long books, I'm not gonna be able to pick 7. So I'm gonna go with Twisted Games because it's shorter, and that way I could pick 7 books. Okay, so I'm gonna go with Twisted Games. And you guys, listen, I did say if I had another prompt where I could pick either of these 2, I'm gonna pick it. So we're gonna go with Twisted Games. And now we are gonna be picking for our 6th prompt. Okay, let's see. You guys, okay, I picked fantasy book. Now listen, I'm gonna put this back because I can only read one fantasy book a month. Only one, so we're gonna put this one back. Okay, for the next one is highest rated on Goodreads. Okay, I'm gonna pick 3 books to check just because I feel like I have too many on my overall TBR to like search each one up. So I'm just gonna pick 3 that I've been wanting to read and see. Okay, so I checked 3 different books, and that was Power Play, the Graham Effect, and then The Fake Out. And the one that was the most highest rated was The Graham Effect. And I just said I didn't want to read a long book, but I've been also wanting to read that series because I finished the Off Campus series a long time ago. It's been like a year since I finished the Off Campus series. I'm gonna start The Graham Effect. Even though it's long, I feel like if I just like read it on my Kindle and I read it when I'm like not as busy, I feel like I could get through it. So we're gonna pick that one. We're gonna be picking for our 7th and last prompt. What's gonna be our 7th book for my TBR for this month? Possible 5 stars. Okay. I'm looking at my bookshelves because there's a lot of series I have to get through. Okay. I'm debating between The Fake Out and Power Play. Those are both hockey romances. And I feel like those both could be 5 stars because I've been really loving those characters as side characters. And now that they're finally going to get their own book, I feel like I would rate their book a 5 stars. We're going to go with Power Play. Just because I already know like the characters that are going to be together. It's Grumpy Sunshine. And there was a scene with them where I think they were at a club and she was like hungry. And she's like, oh, like I am like so hungry. I could go for a burger or something. And then he was like, oh, I'll take her. And then all the friends were like, what do you mean you'll take her? He's like, yeah, like I got it. And they're like, you, like Mr. Grumpy, you're going to go take her and take her out to eat a burger because she's craving one right now. And he's like, yeah. So I think I'm mixing it up a little bit, but that from like what I can remember, I knew I was like, oh, those two, I'm going to love their book. So I'm going to go with that one. Okay, so let's go over our choices. I feel like this is going to be a really good reading month for me. I feel like all of these choices are books I've been wanting to read, and they're a good amount from my physical TBR, so then I could bookshop. If I get through all these books this month, I could bookshop in February, and I'll vlog it, so fun. Okay, so for the first prompt, we got color wheel picks, and we ended up landing on the color purple, and the book, and the only book that I had on my physical TBR that was the color purple, was Trust Me Always by Megan Brandy. And again, I'm so excited to read this one. I love a good fic dating, and especially with these two characters, I feel like there was no other trope that I could imagine would have fit the best for them two. So I feel like it makes so much sense. And knowing these characters from the other books and knowing even like the ex-boyfriend a little bit of the backstory with that, I'm like, oh, this is going to be such a good read. So I'm so excited to pick this one. For our second prompt, we got a book I didn't get to last year. And I ended up picking a book I've been talking about probably in every single video. And that is Rewind It Back by Liz Tom 40. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to read this one. I know that Rio and Hallie, this is a second chance romance. Rio and Hallie were childhood best friends, and they were each other's first love, and they were each other's neighbors. And now they're neighbors again 6 years later after ending off on bad terms and not talking to each other. Now she's going to design his house, and now they have to navigate how they're going to deal with that because they ended off on such bad terms that they're like, well, now what? This is going to be such a good read. I'm so excited. For our third prompt, we picked an even number of pages, and that was Daisy Hates by Jessa Hastings, which had, I think, 492 pages? 494 pages. So I'm excited to read this one. Magnolia Parks ended off on a really big ending. That ending was so good. So I'm like, what is Jessa Hastings going to do with these characters? I have no idea. I don't really know much about this book, like I said, but I'm excited to read it, and I'm excited to vlog it because I just know I'm gonna go through every single emotion when reading this book, but I'm so excited. Okay, so for our fourth prompt, we picked the second book of a series, and I ended up going with Reckless by Lauren Roberts. I am so excited because, again, the ending in Powerless was so good, and I don't know how I didn't pick this book up immediately after. I did read the first chapter because it was in the back of Powerless. I was like, oh, the next book is going to be so good. And so I'm excited to read this. I probably will read that after Rewind It Back just to get a little bit more back into fantasy, but we'll see. Okay, so for our 5th prompt, we got Gifted to Me, and I ended up going with Twisted Games by Anna Huang, which was gifted to me on Christmas. And I feel like this is another read that I'm so excited for. I'm so excited for all of these reads. This is actually a trope I've never read before, and it's bodyguard and princess trope. I feel like I'm gonna be obsessed with this. Like I just know I'm gonna love the characters so much. They were mentioned in Twisted Love. I didn't like Twisted Love, but I knew when they were mentioned, I was like, oh yeah, if they have a book, I'm going to love it. And I don't even know anything about this either. I feel like usually I'm reading like the back and making sure I know what happens, but I'm kind of going into these books without knowing anything. I'm excited for this one. Okay, I don't know much, but I'm excited that I don't know much about Twisted Games because I feel like knowing about Twisted Love was nothing what I expected. So I'm just gonna do the same for Twisted Games. So for our next prompt, we got highest rated on Goodreads, and I went with The Graham Effect by Elle Kennedy. I love the Off-Campus series, so I've been wanting to read her other series, and so this one's going to be very interesting because it is about Gigi, who is Garrett and Hannah's daughter, and she's on the hockey team. I don't know if she's the captain, but I think she's just on the hockey team, and she helps another hockey player named Luke, and they're like, we're gonna put our differences aside. I think it's like a little bit of enemies to lovers, and he's like, I'm gonna help you out, we're gonna help each other out, and then I don't know what happens from there. But we know, of course, like anytime there's a little like enemies to lovers, fake dating, I'm all for it. I'm excited to read that one. And I'm pretty sure he's like a little intimidated because she's the Grey Graham's daughter. I mean, yes. And then for our last prompt, we got a possible 5-star read, and I ended up going with Power Play by Chelsea Curto. Loved when those characters were mentioned in the Face Off, the first book from the series, and I'm pretty sure this one is a marriage of inconvenience. Listen, all of these tropes in these books, I am so excited. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and me picking out different prompts to see what I'm going to be reading for the month of January. And yeah, I'll see you guys for the next one.